What's up, everyone? It's Karthik with MoneyVest. Welcome on board for our market open live stream here, as we are seeing, of course, a lot of individual stocks rip higher. We got Amazon up over 13%, Nvidia pushing up almost 2%. We also do have Apple pushing higher here, pre-market to new all-time highs at over 2% pre-market. So we are seeing a very, very nice jump in these stocks pre-market here, as QQQs, after the brutal sell-off from yesterday, is somewhat recovering pre-market today. It's up over 1.3% on the back of course, these technology stocks, once again pushing higher, with S&P 500 up over 82 basis points right now as well. If the audio and the video is good, just give me a thumbs up and we should be all set, all good to go. Again, thank you so much for joining, everybody. Good morning, good morning. To wrap up the week, wrap up the month of October, we are very strong right now. If you come take a look at market seasonality, you'll see that we are up for the month of October over 2%. So 2% is the gain for this month so far. And today is the last and final day for this week and for this month as well. And October is in the books. Unless the S&P 500 tanks over 2% today, I think we can safely assume that October is going to be yet another green month for the market, which is going to put us on a 6th month winning streak, right? So 6 months of straight gains coming in for the market here. So 2% is the gain, is what we're seeing. So coming over to some very important headlines. So Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang says that AI is in a quote-unquote virtuous cycle. So he said on Friday that artificial intelligence had reached a quote-unquote virtuous cycle, tipping the industry for continuous growth. And speaking at the APAC CEO Summit in South Korea, Huang said the vast improvements in AI models were leading to more investments in technology, which was in turn improving the AI models even further. So in other words, it's a good thing. It's a good virtuous cycle. We have now achieved what's called a virtual cycle here. The AIs get better, more people use it. More people use it, it makes more profit, creates more factories, which allows us to create even better AIs, which allows more people to use it. And the virtual cycle of AI has been designed. And this is the reason why you're seeing the world's CapEx going so fast. So Dan Ives, Wedbush Securities Global Head of Technology Research, described Nvidia the foundation of AI revolution in the comments from CEO Jensen Huang. And of course, we can listen in to this as well very, very quickly.
A foundry cooperation with Samsung Electronics. Are you in a way hedging TSMC?
No, hedging isn't really the right way to think about it.
How would you describe it?
We have partners that excel at the areas of manufacturing semiconductors. It is not, as you know, I make chips. There are many companies that make chips, and we make chips in different ways for different reasons and different value propositions, if you will. And so it's the same with Samsung, and you know they're deep and excellent in their field of semiconductors. And whenever we have opportunities where our products are perfect fit for the way that they manufacture chips, we find opportunities to work together. Now, today, Samsung manufactures all of Nvidia's robotics processors.
You're seeing a very, very nice bump in Nvidia as well, pushing up almost 2% in pre-market during, of course, a very, very important event in Asia, in South Korea. So, am I first? Congrats to all Reddit and Amazon holders. Yeah, Amazon doing really well. Your take on Fubo and Disney's acquisition? I think it's a pretty good deal. I think it's a pretty fitting deal. I think it's what really makes sense. And ESPN to longer being carried by YouTube TV, which should help Fubo tremendously as well. Fubo has, of course, been recovering really well ever since it was sitting down at pretty low levels. It was, of course, trading at one point down to as low as $1, $2. It's up 200-300% from those levels. But this right here is the overall uptrend of higher highs and higher lows. So we're seeing a nice little recovery from Fubo right now. Amazon, yes, quite literally saving the market right now. We are sitting at all-time highs for Amazon pre-market. So a huge congratulations to everybody who has been in Amazon, who's been trading or investing in this company. You know, it's our day to actually shine and the market cap is going to be sitting at well over $2.5 trillion for the first time ever for Amazon. So very, very excited to see that. And now on a split adjusted basis, the price I think is already over 5,000. So 20-1 split is what we had experienced. So 252 times 20, and we're looking at over $5,000 is the price. So we finally achieved a 5K Friday. 5K Friday for Amazon is here officially. For everybody who remembers, we had a pretty strong conviction around the 4K Friday for Amazon. And today is the day where we're getting a 5K Friday here. So I'm just going to write that in the chat very quickly. 5K Friday for Amazon is finally here. So here we go. It's finally here. $5,000 on a pre-split adjusted basis for Amazon. So that's incredible. Congratulations, everybody. Support level for Amazon is going to stay up at 238, 239, all the way down to 227 and 210, 211. I do believe, as I mentioned before many times, Amazon, in my opinion, one of the Magnificent Seven stocks, has the most potential next to Nvidia and Tesla. So I believe in Amazon more so than I do in Google, Microsoft, Apple, or Meta, only because Amazon's got way more levers to pull. And their leverage over the long term is going to be significantly more compared to any other Magnificent Seven company, except for, like I said, Tesla and Nvidia. I would put them in the same bracket. So three really strong growth companies in Magnificent Seven are, in my opinion, going to be Nvidia, Tesla, Amazon. Those are the three biggest opportunities. This is one of the reasons why Amazon has been at the top of the list. It only took us 4 years. Well, 4K we already did achieve not too long ago, right? I mean, we had already hit $200. We already hit 200. Let's see, if you go back, we hit 200 back in July 2024. So yeah, from 2022, 2023, it took us 2 years to get to 4K Friday, which we finally did achieve. And then another year to get to 5K Friday. So, but it happened on a Friday. So, it happened on a Friday. That's something to really be very excited about, that it finally happened. How long after split do we stop saying after split adjusted basis? I mean, there's no rule of thumb. It's not really anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just, of course, on a split adjusted basis is where the stock price is currently. And when did the split take place? Back in 2022, right? So it's been 3 years for Amazon, but there's no hard and fast rule. I mean, you can stop saying it the day after it's already split, or you can stop saying it after 5 years or 10 years. I mean, Netflix is going through a split right now, so they're going to be doing a 10-1 split for Netflix, and support level is going to stay at around $1,000 right now, with a resistance up to as much as 1,100, and it's going to be about 110 after the split. November 17th is when the stock price goes live after a 10-for-1 stock split, so it's going to be around 110. Okay, my covered calls in Amazon are at 2:30 for November 7th. Yes, so next Friday is November 7th, so my birthday. There's going to be a lot of expirations for next Friday's contracts, right? So a lot of people are looking at November 7th as the next options strike here, of course, in 7 days. I have a few contracts expiring on November 7th, which I'll see if I want to roll or let them expire. But 2:30 for Amazon, yes, it's going to be in the money. And you're going to have to decide whether you want to roll that contract out or you're comfortable letting your shares go at that price point at 2:30. So Roshan, is it better to buy Netflix now or after the split? They're planning to split now. So, when it comes to stock splits, it has no bearing on the fundamentals or technicals, like quite literally nothing. It's just slicing the pie differently, if that makes any sense. So instead of having one pizza having 10 slices, you're going to have 20 slices. That's really what it is. But at the end of the day, it's the same pizza. It's the same quantity. You're just kind of slicing it differently. That's what it is. So fundamentally and technically, it should not make a difference. Whether that question is, should I buy or sell, has more to do with the fundamentals and technicals as opposed to stock split. So whether I should buy before the stock split or after, doesn't have any bearing on it. So in my view, of course, historically speaking, we have seen that stock splits still tend to be a bit of a bullish catalyst for a lot of companies. I mean, a lot of these stocks have gone through various stages of stock splits. I mean, Google has done it, Apple has done it, Nvidia has done it multiple times, Tesla has done it multiple times. Amazon did the first split after a long time, over 20 years. So yeah, I mean, a lot of companies have done it, and historically it's been a net positive. So it is selling off. I mean, it is pretty oversold as a stock. So if you can get it down to, let's say, $1,000 right there, I think is a good support level to watch for Netflix. No way. Rice pictures, which year you were born at? Because I'm November 8th, 1996. I'm the same, 1996, November 7th. So I'm 1 day older than you. It's crazy. That's wild. I think November is probably a lot of birthdays. I know a lot of people who have birthdays in November. As Dave likes to say, that we were all Valentine babies. We were made with love. But yeah, November is, I know a lot of people that have birthdays in November. It's crazy. Yeah, November 7th. Andy, you're also November 7th? Are you really? That's crazy. Man, we already have so many people. November birthdays coming up. Okay, Andy's 8th. Rias is 8th. Shaquila's 5th. John is 9th. What? That's wild. Well, happy birthday to everybody in advance. But of course, we'll be live next Friday as well. As always, I'll be doing a digital birthday celebration. We'll cut a small cake for everybody, including myself. Perfect. Man, that I didn't even realize we've got so many people in the next week. Yeah, Tesla's vote is also next week, so that is also going to be very important. What happens to leaps after split generally? So they just get adjusted as well, Vamsi. So they're also going to get adjusted based on the price. You better wear a birthday hat. Of course I will. Of course, I will have that entire hat and everything, so. Yeah, more people are born in September and November because of holidays in December and February. Yeah, I agree. Can you look at SoFi support resistance? Yes, so let's take a look at SoFi. Let's come over to some stocks here. I guess it's Friday. It's casual Fridays. We can chill and talk about other things too. But SoFi, I've got a very strong support down here inside this green rectangle around $24 to $25. And, resistance is going to be at $30 to all the way up to as much as around $32.50. It hit a new all-time high yesterday, not yesterday, but the day before, getting up to over $32.57. Starting to see a little bit of a pullback. And so very strong support here in the $24, $25 range for SoFi. Mario, why does your trading philosophy reminds me of Jesse Livermore? You know what? I have looked into his trading style, but I'm not familiar with his trading philosophy. But if you say so, then I'll definitely believe it. But of course, he was one of the greatest traders of all time. Very unfortunate ending, though. But all in all, I think he has been known for being one of the greatest traders and investors of all time. But I'm not familiar with what his actual philosophy was. I've learned about his story, but not so much about the way he used to think about the markets. I definitely need to read up more on his philosophy. But if you say so, I'll believe it. Yeah. Let's take a look at Meta. Tilakraj, your dad is November 7, 1954. Well, happy birthday to him as well. That's incredible. Same birthday. I don't know. I share my birthday with so many people in our community. That's incredible. But yeah, for Meta Platforms, 666 is where we closed yesterday. We have essentially massive wick on both sides yesterday. So a lot of consolidation. So a little bit of a doji candle. Lots of indecision for Meta. And support level is going to step down at 630, right? So $630 got a very strong support. We got a huge resistance right here, 680, 682 for Meta Platforms. And I would consider to kind of dollar cost average, pick up a little bit more shares in and around these areas, given the oversold conditions for the stock. But yeah, that's where we are with a huge sell-off yesterday, and that's going to be that resistance to watch. Rakesh, I'm thinking about selling a $25 put expiring 5th December on SoFi, premium $77. I think for my first trade after months of studying, this is a good delta of 20. Yeah, I think that could be a good start of that position for SoFi. $25 strike for December 5th. You're essentially pushing out 1 month. And $77 over 2,500 is going to be a return of about 3%, which is good. 3% in 1 month is good, really good. MSTR, MicroStrategy, selling off aggressively yesterday. I mean, crypto's been fluctuating a lot, right? I mean, crypto over the last couple weeks has just been trading up, down, up, down, up, down. It's just been in that range for quite some time. Same thing with BTC as well. I mean, it's pushing higher right now, but it's really just been trading sideways. So go up, down, up again. So we're seeing a lot of consolidation for crypto. BMNR pushing up 5% pre-market on the back of a nice little recovery in Bitcoin and Ether. BITX sold off yesterday, pushing up over 6.5% pre-market right now. So they're all going to be crypto-related stocks, right? So if crypto's bouncing around, so will these stocks as well. MP Materials, let's take a look at that for John here very quickly. So we're looking at a support, very strong area of demand right around here, $59 to $64. So that is going to be that level of support, and a resistance all the way up to as much as around $82. It does look pretty good as a potential setup for a nice little swing trade. So if you are going to be trading this, I would put a tight stop below 60 and a potential target at 82. So you're looking at a potential risk of under 7% and a target up to 26% for that stock. Okay, shift for payments for Nandini here. Lower highs and lower lows, consistently kind of tracking in this downtrending sort of channel. So we are in this nice little lower high, lower low pattern on the weekly time frame. You can probably kind of see it better. And I would say a very strong support right around here for shift for payments, $57, $58. And also keeping track of this lower low where we could see a potential bounce. So this right here is going to be the third time we're kind of bouncing off of that level here. Pushed up, sold off, pushed up, sold off. If you get a nice little recovery, target back up to $89 to $90 for shift for payment. ServiceNow, let's take a quick look here. A lot of consolidation. I mean, it feels like it's forming a bit of a symmetrical triangle. You know, you can extend that over here. And we got a very strong support at $794, you know, close to $800. So previous resistance, another support I would point out to right about there, 660s for ServiceNow. And yes, they're also going to be doing a stock split. Okay, birthday paradox. In a room of 25 people, there is a 50% chance that 2 people share the same birthday. Wow, that's incredible. Yeah, and right now we're in a room of 301 people. So, Oracle, I'm doing a swing trade on Bitcoin right now. Would you consider getting into Team? So yes, Atlassian, I feel has a ton of potential because it's on the verge of becoming profitable very soon. And so as revenues keep growing and operating leverage is strong, this is a company that has been performing really well. As you can clearly see, I mean, from its lows of around, you know, $21, $22 from back in 2016, the stock is, you know, up very nicely over almost 1,000% in just a matter of like 9 years, which is very strong performance. And now we're seeing a little bit of consolidation, right? So this is the area of consolidation for Atlassian. Seems like a pretty good dollar cost averaging, you know, accumulation zone right around the 129, 128 levels, and a resistance back up to as much as 259 and 475. So those are going to be a couple levels to watch. Okay, Oracle. Oracle, we have gone over in our market updates daily. Mr. B.S. Papa. We have gone over that in our daily market updates. We go over all of them, you know, the Magnificent Seven, Broadcom, Nvidia, Meta, Oracle, Palantir. We go over all of that. Okay. What is your no-brainer buy price for MP? I want to hold it for the long term. MP, I don't have a no-brainer buy target here, unfortunately, because I haven't calculated the fair value for the stock because it's a commodity focused stock, because it's going to be focused on very much on the rare earth materials and the precious metals and so on and so forth. It's going to be a really volatile fundamentals. Even for metal miners, it's very difficult to really try to understand what their fair value is going to look like, because revenue does fluctuate quite a bit. You can see right here, 2022 blockbuster year, then we went down negative, then now we're starting to go positive again. Same thing with the revenue. Expectations are really high for long-term growth, but then that's very, very difficult to model. And right now we don't even have a positive EPS to calculate the fair value. So as a result, it becomes a bit of a challenge. So I essentially am focused on the technical levels as well as the price to sales multiple or the price to cash flow. But I would say, obviously no-brainers, from a technical perspective would make a lot more sense. Guess in the 30s, and some heavy buying in the 40s would also be pretty attractive. It's Mr. B's Papa. Okay. Perfect. CRM, we'll take a look at that as well here. What's up with REITs? Thought rate cuts would be favorable for them, but price action has indicated otherwise. Yeah, for Realty Income Corporation, if you see, we have seen a little bit of a pullback recently. Rate cuts are more beneficial to tech and growth, more so than, obviously other names, but REITs also do benefit because of all the financing and the leverage that they can use to acquire more properties or, refinance their existing ones to pull equity out. But banks also do benefit in a rate cutting environment, but more so it affects growth companies, small caps, mid caps, tech. That's what really gets fueled on rate cuts. So for Realty Income Corp, which is one of the best REITs out there, support level is going to stay roughly around $57, $56, all the way down to as low as right here, $55. So pretty good dividend yield, 5.5% with some potential appreciation there for Realty Income Corp. Do you hold Amazon shares? Yes, I do have a position there. What do you think about their earnings? AWS 20% growth is no joke, and looks like this is what matters to Wall Street. No other Amazon bets. What do you think of the valuation? So I like Amazon over the long term. As I said before many times, I think Amazon has a lot of levers to pull. Nobody can replicate the business model for Amazon, which they've spent years building. The entire logistics network, the warehouses, the robotics. Some of their smaller bets have paid off tremendously over the long term, and AWS and advertising are the big growth engines and very high margin businesses, because we all know that they're not making money on e-commerce. They're not profitable on e-commerce, but what they are going to be profitable on is AWS and advertising. Those are the two big ones, and all the other side projects that they have going on with robotics. And now what they need to really do is just kind of make their operations more efficient with robotics and AI. And if they can do that, then their e-commerce business also starts to churn pretty strong numbers. So Amazon spent 20 years building their business, reinvesting every dollar back into the business, generating losses after losses, and now is the profitability game. Now essentially is what they reap the benefits in terms of profitability. Because just take a look, right? Up until 2022, 2023, they were still pretty low on earnings per share, right? Practically nothing, right? $2, $3. And now look at 2028. We're looking at over $11 in earnings per share. So going from $5 in last year to $11, it's over 100% growth over the next 4 years. And I think that's really what's going to put the stock, significantly higher. If you're looking at valuation 35 times right now, you're looking at over 100% growth over the next 4 years, annualized. Let me just do some very quick math. So 2028, 2024. So we're looking at earnings 1163. 2024 was around 553. So if you calculate the next 4 years worth of growth here, so we're looking at 20% growth, right? Every year for the next 4 years. And if the price is going to be around 1163, we apply, let's say, a 25 times multiple, we're looking at 290. But if it continues to trade at the multiple that it is right now at 35, we're looking at $407. So from 250 to 400, if we're looking at 35 times earnings for the company, is going to be a potential upside of 60%. If you go with a 30 times multiple, we're looking at 348, but I would say 25 at a minimum is 290. So some very quick math, 290 to $400 is going to be a pretty reasonable expectations for Amazon to be trading at over the next 1 to 4 years. Okay, Gario, thank you so much. Just want to say I appreciate everything you do. I try to watch you every morning. I appreciate that very much. Market's going to open in about 3 to 4 minutes here, everyone. I'm going to try to go over as many questions as possible, but we're going to come back over to how the markets are doing. So we got Amazon, all-time high open, Nvidia pushing up over 2%, Apple, all-time highs, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ, near all-time highs. So everything is about to open at near all-time highs here. Mario, Kenny, my plan is to wait to buy Hood, $120, so I'm going to sit and wait 100% of my cash on the side. Why do you think of my strategy? And I'm looking for growth and to also collect premiums from covered calls. If you're 100% cash right now, you are certainly underinvested in the market by a huge amount, because at any given point, I am in most circumstances at least 80%, 70% at best invested. And that's just my strategy, my philosophy. And if you have a list of stocks, and this is what I recommend for most people, is to go over literally to our shopping list, right? So spend some time going over to every single stock that's in our shopping list, which, by the way, will get updated after this earnings season is over. But I did add 6-7 more stocks here. But going over to the shopping list, and there's like 35, 40 stocks, and doing some basic research and analysis on all of them, creating a list of your high conviction names from this list, whether that's 8 stocks, 10 stocks, 12, whatever, and figuring out the prices that you want to buy them at. So now you've got a list of high conviction companies that you believe in, that you've spent time researching, and you've got the buy targets for where you want to pick up those stocks, the two most important ingredients, right, for long-term investing: what to buy and where to buy. You've already got that down, and then all you're doing is selling puts to get assigned at that price. If you do, great. Continue to build those positions, dollar cost average. And if you don't, you just kind of rinse and repeat that process. You just simply sell more puts and keep selling puts at that strike price where you're comfortable buying. Keep collecting a premium. You can lower your cost bases and start building out those positions. Because the longer you wait, of course, the markets just keep on pushing higher. I mean, that's what we know. Statistically, they are going to keep going up. And the times when the volatility does spike, when we do see those corrections, that's when you want to be ready to deploy even more capital, be a lot more aggressive. So Robinhood's part of our shopping list. If this is a stock that you're looking at, so 120 puts, you can start with that. See if you get a sign. If not, you rinse and repeat the whole process, and that would be my way to go about it. I'm 65% cash, had some call options on QQQ that were up almost 500% after the 4 gap ups in a row, looking for discounts now. That's amazing. 400% is great. John, I don't think BI takes a long time hold if crypto breaks support and trends down. Yeah, I mean, it's a high risk, high reward play. That's why I'm not kind of mentioning it for everyone. It's just if you are comfortable with that level of volatility, because it can be extremely volatile, given that it is leveraged on top of an already volatile asset class, which is Bitcoin. But most people are fine with IBIT. IBIT is also something that I have, which is like the regular iShares Bitcoin Trust, not the leveraged one. Okay, everyone. So market's going to open in about 10 seconds here. Hope you all are ready. We're going to most likely close the month of October pretty strong if the markets hold up the gains from today. But so far, so good. Markets are up 2%. and we are open for business. Nvidia up 1.5%. Amazon just hit a new all-time high. Market cap at $2.67 trillion. We got S&P 500 up over 72 basis points, and QQQ is up over 1.25% as well. So that's going to be it for today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you all. Make sure that you drop a like, subscribe, and again, link's going to be down below. There is a 30% annual discount that does expire today. So at midnight tonight, this 30% annual discount will be gone, and the pricing will also be gone forever, because we have been moving up the price since we are adding more and more features to the website, shopping list, more macro dashboards, data sets, more content, members only videos, tutorials onto the Patreon as well. So link's going to be in the chat if you're interested in joining. Any questions, email me at admin@moneyvest.com, and more than happy to help you. Happy investing. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all again Monday morning for the Market Open Live.